It's time to get happy now. We can be happy now. We've made it. Almost. We got one more list after this one. Then I could be free. I could finally review albums that are new. I can finally review albums from this year. Yeah! You're kind of scaring me, buddy. You're scared? You're scared? Good. I want you to embrace that fear. Hello one, hello all. It's the most gothiest ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh. And we're almost done with list week. That took more than expected, but it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna get to it. We're out of the trash. We're into the treasure. It is my favorite singles of 2024. And man, I just want to apologize for how crazy I am as of late. It's just been a long time. We're in January. This is my favorite list of 2024. So let's get into the list, okay? Okay. At number 50, we're starting off with Hiatus Kaiyote, Cinnamon Temple. Man, like, granted, you saw them in my honorable mentions list. Wasn't really a huge fan of the album. I liked it, I enjoyed it, but didn't love it. But man, I truly love this track here. In a way, it kind of reminds me of something Lightning Bolt would have done. Kind of gives me like this very dirty, grimy feeling. Like, it's very loud too. This is very loud, a very bombastic track. Very noisy, very chaotic, and they pull it off really well. And with a very memorable set of melodies here and refrain. Fuck it up, buttercup. Fuck it up, buttercup. Oddly performed, jerky, dance grooves. I dig it. And at number 49, who pissed off Ari Lennox because she is ready for the smoke with Smoke. Yeah, very confrontational, very soulful, very vintage, but very fun track. Being cheeky, badass. I love this side of Ari, so I'm excited for what she's gonna do next on her next LP. At number 48, jazzy pianos, skittering rhythms, heavenly galactic backing vocals, a lot of atmosphere, great sung vocals, great flows, and a rap verse from Little Simz from the deluxe version of Sampha's excellent album, Lahi. It's Satellite Business 2.0. Check this album out if you haven't. At 47, man, I do love a lot of singles from Baby No Money. And I'm not just saying that because we share the same sexy resemblance. But yeah, this is probably my favorite by him. It's so funky, it's so booming, it's so catchy. Like insanely catchy, fun, thumping. It's insane. With It Boy, Bitch I'm Him, the Jizzy Eminem. At number 46, Tinashe comes through with some sexy, kinky action on the track Nasty, which is from her new LP, Quantum Baby, which is an album that slipped through the cracks for me, but when she puts out something new, I'll definitely catch up on this one. And yes, I'm going to touch on a lot of singles that kind of breeze past me, but you know, maybe I'll do like an albums I should have reviewed section at some point. But anyway, great track from Tinashe. And yeah, if you like kinky, sexy, fun, and she really does pull through with the vocals. She really does bring it. But yeah, check it out. Tinashe, Nasty. And at number 45, we're getting weird, we're getting funky, we're getting fun, we're getting synthy with the track No Problem by Ginger Root. Another album that slipped by me, but again, segment. At number 44, we're getting into dark territory lyrically on the track 27 Club by TiaCorine-HOT. And yeah, this is, man, it's melodic, it's beautiful, but it's troubling and very dark, so trigger warning for this one. At 43, UK girl group Flow. Yes, they're back, and they did put out a new album. Didn't exactly check it out, but I love the singles coming off of it, especially this one with the song Caught Up. At 42, a vastly moving, introspective track here with some beautifully penned harmonies that kind of remind me of Bright Eyes, Conor Oberst's Bright Eyes, and he does it so beautifully. It's Elias Rønnenfelt with No One Else. Amazing, beautiful, poetic track. At number 41, we get Heartbreak, we get Seduction over this Eurohouse Future Garage bop. I'm talking about FKA Twigs, Perfect Stranger. And I can't wait for her new LP. At number 40, it's Charlie Crockett with $10 Cowboy. Man, this has got to be one of the most rustic country singles I've probably heard all year. Granted, there are others, but man, there's just something about this. The chord progressions here are great. The chorus lives rent-free in my head. $10 Cowboy. And I love the progressive country passages at the end. Fantastic. 39, Denzel Curry, ASAP Ferg, TiaCorine with Hot One, straight off of his fantastic second installment of King of the Mischievous South. Yes, it's Hot One, loaded with a lot of underground, dirty South flavor here, with an instantaneous hook, loaded with strong personalities, very clever bars that are still stuck in my head to this day. At 38, we're getting some glitch pop with a variety of electronic genres, but with additions of some cumbia, Latin electronics, breakbeat, with these gorgeous weepy synths, emotionally passionate, adoring lyrics, with Jane Remover, Magic, I Want You. At 37, we're taking another dark turn with a chaotic post-punk track from Test Plan, Walking in a Vacuum. Probably one of the most raging, grooviest songs you're probably going to hear all year, and I am just waiting for them to drop an album. At 36, Shy Girl and Danny L Harle team up for Encore. I fucking love how heavy and fat the bass is. Like, just when you thought you had your fill of the heavy and the freaky, man, comes at you with this one. Check it out. At 35, it's Alice Longyu Gao, Heart Korean Girls, featuring Mega, and God, this one is just an absolute banger. If you fancy yourself a true dance club DJ and you're not putting this on, you're failing at life. You are failing at life, because this is hard techno, hip house. It's just an entrancing heavy banger with an ode to Korean girls. So keep this in rotation. Check out our EP too, because keep out our EP too, because Alice Longyu Gao definitely has a great catalog of EPs from her first one to her second one. Check it out. Thank me later. At 34, the extremely funky and layered and textured Pull the Rope from a Bibio Sound Machine. At 33, raunchy, rebellious, in your face, punk vocalist Amy Taylor of the garage punk band Amyl and the Sniffers team up with tech house producer Chris Lorenzo with a very crass banger, but calling out dumbass misogynists on their hypocrisy. And the beat, the progression is just great tech house. Kind of reminds me of Viagra Boys and Train Spotters, and I honestly think like they should collab more often, because this is just like they should honestly collab more often because this is just tech house punk insanity. This is beyond. But anyway, at number 32, Fontaine's DC Starburster is from their indie post-Brit album. I didn't necessarily have a chance to review it, but this single right here definitely grabbed my attention. The hook is catchy as hell, and those deep-ass breaths just steal the show from me, along with a pounding beat and string variations. At 34, California pop queer icon Chappell Roan with Good Luck Babe. Like, this right here, it's definitely a banger, but it's definitely a very emotive one. Like, I'm really sad that I really missed the boat on her 2023 LP. Not that I didn't love it. I went and I listened to it, and it's definitely an amazing LP. You should definitely check out. Her debut is fantastic, but unfortunately no full length for 2024. And upon listening, she is reminiscent to me of Kate Bush, Last Dinner Party, but she's really bringing something new and fresh here with different angles, because she's brought some excellent love triangle, heartbreaking storytelling here. And with her hooks, she just knows how to bring such a rush with a lot of passion, a lot of heart. So hell yeah to Chapel Roan, and based on Palestine and the queer movement. So hell yeah, Chapel Roan. Number 3 is actually a track that comes from a deluxe edition of an album that I truly think is their best one. And trust me, they have quite the great catalog. I'm talking about the experimental rap duo Arm & Hammer, Doves. Like, it's very desolate, it's very dystopian, post-apocalyptic, very grainy. I know, like, I'm listening to it, but it feels grainy, it feels black and white, and that could be due to the distortion. It's a very lengthy track, it's a very eerie track, immensely eerie. Like, this thing sounds like the equivalent of post-rock meets rap music, experimental rap music. And given how many references that Billy Woods has thrown out there correlating to David Lynch, this really does sound like the equivalent of David Lynch directing a rap song. I know that sounds weird, but that's what it feels like. And with Billy Woods being such a fan of David Lynch, and, you know, Billy Woods being one half of Arm & Hammer, this definitely makes sense. And also RIP to David Lynch, with a great catalog as well, by the way. And we're almost there. Holy shit, we're almost there at 29. 29! And legendary artist Kim Gordon of the iconic noise rock band Sonic Youth comes through to kick ass on The Collective, but it's this single that drew me in. I'm talking about Bye Bye. Like, really coming through with an absolute trap banger about packing on vacation and making it sound amazing. Like, this could rival any of the Opium, any of the trap records that are out right now. Just amazing. Very unexpected, but very gratifying. At number 28, Justice, the absolute legendary French house duo with Generator. Like, this thing is a multi-phased epic, and while I kind of missed the boat on this one, and when I say missed the boat, I really did miss the boat on this one. This one kind of slipped by me. I didn't review it, but again, it's gonna make it in that segment I spoke on earlier. But if you haven't checked out their debut, please check that out. It's amazing. But yeah, this track right here with linear grooves, great progression, freakish to smooth change-ups, it really does show Justice is still capable of making bangers. And again, check out their debut if you haven't. It's incredible. At number 27, also with an incredible discography, Clipping. Run It. I swear, every time these guys drop a single, it always leads to an album that I thoroughly enjoy. Like, these guys have a great catalog. Like, they've never disappointed me. And releasing this fire single off their upcoming LP, Dead Channel Sky, and this time getting more industrial in a fantastic way. Like, still feeling dark, still feeling sinister, with an electronic feel that kind of goes back a little bit to the 2000s, just a little bit, and going into different directions topically, and I'm ready for it. At number 26, the explosive, instantaneous, confessional Nia Archives, Crowded Rooms. Offer fantastic album, Silence is Loud, a very great drum and bass, liquid drum and bass LP. I love the post-punk like guitars, the ascending passages, the breakbeats are insane. I love the beaming effects, sounding kind of dubby, and her vocals have like this neo-soul feel. It's just a fantastic blend. At 25 is coming off the band's album 13, with one of the most freakish, poetic, and disturbing tracks I've probably heard all year, and very melodic too. It's Shoo Shoo, Venetium, and shout out to Bay for the solid copy of the LP. And at 24, we have the immensely crushing and lyrically defiant Against Abuse track, and the lyrically defiant against abuse through religion and dealing with the long-time trauma. The metalcore, hardcore track off their fantastic new LP, You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to. Suffocate, featuring Poppy. And God, I cannot get over how heavy but how innovative this track is. And vocally, each of them kill it, from frontman Brian to Poppy. Great friggin' track, and if you consider yourself a metalhead, you should check this LP out. And at 23, easily taking electronic music to new heights, with the absolutely insane, hilarious, and catchy, in-your-face banger. It's Aaliyah's interlude, Fashion Icon. Fashion Icon. At 22, my favorite single off the Chelsea Wolfe album, She Who Reaches Out to She, I'm not gonna say the whole title, with Everything Turns Blue. I love the super dark, heavy density this track has. Like, the production is just so thick and dark, and great, beautiful, ghostly vocals from Chelsea, and harrowing lyrics too. At 21, we get super horny, sexy, and humorous on the synth funk boogie banger. I'm talking about Remy Wolf. Toro. At 20, we're at 20! It's legendary vocalist Beth Gibbons of Portishead fame off her new amazing LP Lives Outgrown with Floating on a Moment. Like, yeah, it's a step away from trip hop into chamber folk with beautiful enchanting strings, heavenly vocals from the backing of these beautiful kids vocals, ascending vocals, breathy vocals, speaking on the meditation and introspection of passing on, floating on this moment, just letting it go, accepting the passing of leaving this earth. Like, it's very mournful, but also very beautiful too. It has a beautiful tone to it. So, hell yeah to Beth. At number 19, my favorite jazz single of the year, Kamasi Washington, Prologue. Definitely a very spaced out journey here, very proggy for sure, with some very beautiful, uplifting, epic horns, with warped synth chords, some very insane, whacked out sax lines that definitely remind me of something off of The Epic, off of T-Pab, but done in a very different way. Like, you could tell he's going in a very epic cinematic direction here, with gorgeous, dreamy piano passages. Definitely a lot of great layering to create this contrast. Like, this thing just feels so anthemic, so powerful, and without any words too. Just great, innovative playing from Kamasi Washington. Yes. At 18, Magdalena Bay, Death and Romance. I feel like Mag here is definitely a duo in synth pop that's doing new things, doing creative, exciting things. I mean, I'm gonna get to that more when I touch on how they made my album of the year with Imaginal Disc. But for this track in particular, I feel it really plays as a great single, and also a great piece to the correlation and the flow and the context of the album. Like, honestly, if you consider yourself a pop fan, a synth pop fan, check them out. Please do me a favor, check them out, because they definitely have a knack for sound. And at this one in particular, like, every time I hear this track, I feel like I'm part of the world that they've created. Like, from the vocals, the embellishments, and again, lyrically, goes great with the album. And again, also fantastic single. Check it out. At number 17, A$AP Rocky and Jessica Pratt. I did not expect this collision of different worlds at all. Like, I'm really hoping for a brand new LP from A$AP Rocky in the future. But man, this is such an impactful collision, such a beautiful collision, as A$AP is, yes, he is boasting on this track, he is being braggadocious, he is flexing, but he's also touching on other issues as well that do pertain to his life. How, you know, you got dudes who want his wife, who want his wife, speaking on police brutality, systemic racism, but also just how beautiful and enchanting that Jessica Pratt sounds on here. Like, if A$AP Rocky is to put out another album, I would hope it's as adventurous and ambitious as this. At number 16, it's Vampire Weekend with Classical. Such a great track off their LP, God Was Above Us, with so much sonically going on. Like, it's very bustling, it's very bright, it's very colorful. It sounds very joyous, but once you dive into the lyrics, the lyrics aren't joyous at all, which I feel creates an interesting contrast. Like, an amazing contrast. Like, we have sonic exuberance with lyrical and topical, like, desolation and devastation, detailing in society becoming accustomed to tyranny and how it becomes culture, how it becomes just part of history. And then speaking on, if you were to rebel or fight back, would that be iconic as well? Would people look at you as a hero in that sense? At least that's what I'm getting out of it. And if you do fight back, there is rebellion. Will it be traditional? Will there be consequences? Also, I do love the zany jazzy bits, and wailing instrumentation. Just a great track off a great album from Vampire Weekend. At number 15, Moses Sumney comes through with Vintage, a gorgeous track, and unfortunately no LP from Moses this time around. But it's a very dreamy, beautiful ballad. It kind of reminds me of like maybe some Prince, D'Angelo, talking about reliving times, wanting that time once again, maybe reliving it and doing things differently, like being in love with the past, basically, which I can understand. I mean, times were simpler back then, maybe for him. I didn't live his experience. But also having possession of that time, like it's like an ode to, I guess, reliving and redoing what he could have done, where he felt happiness, he didn't really have burdens. And also I love the manipulated group falsettos. Great song, great sentiment, love it. At 14, Porter Robinson, Cheerleader. We have an absolutely adrenaline pumping track that unfortunately with the reception of this amongst fans kind of left him at odds here. But for me personally, I friggin' love this record. I friggin' love this single. Like, it's super explosive with the production, it's very colorful, and very engaging songwriting with the description of a toxic fan base and pretty much realizing without your fans you wouldn't really be anywhere. Pretty much speaking from the perspective of, I guess, like, speaking on fandom, how crazy it could get, and how these fans, or this fan in particular, feels entitled to their well-being. But yeah, crazy track, great track, and the album Smile is fantastic too, which I'll get into once I touch on my favorite albums of the year of 2024. And at 13, an incredibly warm, gorgeous, introspective track from the Lemon Twigs. I'm talking about The Golden Years. With a song reminiscent of what they could have done, how they just let the time pass by, not really seizing the moment. Which, honestly, I feel the listener could take this either way. I mean, you could take in the very beautiful Beach Boy-like harmonies, the great guitar leads, and melodies, and lyrically take it as motivation too. Don't let this time slip by. Like, really seize the moment and really make life worth living while you have it. Now, I'm not exactly speaking on, like, once you get old, it's over. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that while you have time on this earth, take advantage. Like, do what you can to accomplish your goals. Like, not to include myself, but that's kind of what I'm doing with this channel here. I just want to make it the best I can and want to enjoy it the best I can. You only get one life, and don't let it pass you by. And just take advantage while you're still here. At number 12, we have an undeniably, absolutely hilarious track that brings Miami bass, crunk with East Coast flavor. It's the banger from Joey Valence and Bray. I'm talking about The Baddest. It's anthemic. It's huge. It's anthemic. It's huge. It's a powerful one, very outlandish bars, great chemistry between Joey and Bray, and definitely packed with humor and personality. Hell yeah. At number 11, we have the goth track. Friggin' goth track of the year. Like, I wish they would drop an album. It's Dog Race. It's a squeeze. Cause man, everything about this screams goth rock. Like, the darkness, the quirkiness, the disturbing horror thematic lyrics we have going on here. And I think it's done in a different way conceptually. But let me just talk about the blaring shots of guitar here. The dark, dismal, watery bass melodies. The chilling, disturbing, quick, half-sung vocals. He won't leave me alone. I give my life to him. But can't get it. I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead here. Like the falsetto is so theatrical. It's so gripping. It's chilling from the lead vocalist Katie Haley. As we get this dystopian perspective of someone being gaslit, like it sounds very culty, like they've been brainwashed and gaslit into staying into a cult, or maybe like a very disturbing relationship that feels like one from like an abusive partner, and then channeling feelings. Like it's just so demented and culty, but it's supposed to be that way. And the music video is sick too. Like, she definitely looks very Handmaid's Tale. So I feel like this definitely sheds light on a very terrifying topic in a very poetic and very gothy way, and I love it. Like it definitely sounds like it could be featured in an Ari Aster film, for sure. At number 10, we're at number 10! Without a doubt, Jamie XCX, Baddie on the Floor, featuring Honey Dijon. And it's another LP I wish I reviewed. Yeah, well, I know, I suck. But perhaps if they drop another LP, I'll check this one out as a pregame, that way I could get caught up. But man, the singles, man, I friggin' love the singles on this LP. And this one in particular here, like a friggin' great amalgamation of different rhythms, a lot of fantastic variation, with touches of world music samples, triumphant ringing horns that remind me of Daft Punk, that are just absolutely powerful, absolutely gorgeous, catchy, repetitious, modulated vocal samples of Honey Dijon, dreamy, spacey keys, like one fantastic transition after the next, and distant but still tangible string samples, in different layers, different textures. Man, it's just incredible song. Different layers, textures, it's such a danceable track. And I love it. Also danceable. At number 9, we're at number 9. Don't worry about that. My favorite Dosi track, easily hip house song of the year, with a great featured verse from JT on Alter Ego. I mean, Dosi really friggin' killed it, man. From her absolutely anthemic, catchy hook, from her absolutely catchy, shouted, in-your-face anthemic hook. Na 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 boo boo bitch. I mean, it's just super sticky. With a confrontational attitude, larger-than-life production, great Euro house, with some beautiful, soulful vocals on the back end. Like, I honestly would love if Dosi would dive into this more for her, like, full-length projects. But we'll see. Fingers crossed. And don't look at that finger. Because she's really showing here she could rap, she has singing chops, a knack for bangers, charisma, and again, like, beautiful singing voice. Like, this woman really is the total package. I'm just dying for a full-length LP that's as adventurous and crazy and no holds barred as this. But again, maybe next time. At number 8, it's Fat Dog with Wither. Yes, again, another album I didn't review, slipped by me. But again, putting that in the segment. Because the singles here were so fire. Like, in no way, shape, or form could Imagine Dragons ever do this. And in no way, shape, or form am I an Imagine Dragons fan. But vocally, there are points where in an alternate universe, I am reminded of the lead vocalist of that band. Where in a way, it leaves me wondering what it would have been like if they actually were daring, grew some balls, maybe dove into experimental music, synth punk music. But enough bashing them, because this track is amazing. It's such a anxious electro clash synth punk banger. Actually, scratch that. Rager! His vocals are so unhinged. The syncopation of the bass and drums is insane. It sounds so entrancing, but it sounds like this thing is just chasing me at the same time. And the vocals gradually get more rambunctious and wild. And the absolutely manic sax line at the end. Great single. I really hope that these guys drop another LP. And perhaps I'll pregame with that before I dive into the next LP. But I guarantee you, I will review that LP. I will. At number 7, Adrian Lenker, Sadness as a Gift. Really beautifully sad singer-songwriter music here. great contemporary folk music. Like the strings are so warm and touching. Like her vocals are so sweet. It has a very homespun feel. Like I just love the raw expression here. Telling a story of a bittersweet heartbreak with great musicianship, great songwriting from Adrian, and beautiful singing. Very gentle, but very tangible. And from, of course, a great album, which you should definitely check out. At number 6, easily the most disturbing, crushing noise rock song, single, period, of an equally crushing noise rock album, Cool World. I'm talking about Chat Pile, I Am Dog Now. I mean, it's just one of those massively despondent, harrowing tracks. So heavy, so manic. Like, Chat Pile has a thing for dishing out their views, whether it's directly to you or in the form of a story. And in this case, it's a matter of the lead vocalist drawing this narrative of a perspective of someone suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. And absolutely a very tragic situation, making the listener very uncomfortable if you're new to Chat Pile. Yeah, that's what they do. But man, the guitar embellishments are so freakish here. And the vocals sound so animalistic. Like his vocal variations from his howls, his woofs. It's like he's transforming before my ears. Like, it is cryptic in a way. I do feel it takes a few listens to understand where it's coming from. But once you put the pieces together, the verses, the hooks are disturbing as fuck. And the breakdowns are so kick-ass. Man. Amazing track. At number 5, another track that hits different in a homespun, heartwarming way. It's very dreamy, very beautiful, very touching. It's a single from Laura Marling's Patterns and Repeat. It's No One's Gonna Love You Like I Can. Like, such a beautiful string-backed piano ballad. It's a short one, but man, it really absolutely hits you in the feels. If this doesn't make you cry or make you feel something, I do not trust you. I don't trust you. But yeah, heartbreaking, tear-inducing, just like Laura does. Love it. And another song that hits differently. Yeah, I'm talking about Horse Girl. Eat, Sleep, Slay, Repeat. Yeah, I've listened to this song plenty of times. Once I heard it, I could not get enough of it. And yes, I've loaded my list with a lot of dancey tracks, because in this time, you gotta dance. You gotta feel good. I mean, like something that brings you some type of joy, strong feelings, that just makes you want to dance away, dance away. Like from the pounding drums, pounding bass drums, fat distorted synth bass, blaring sirens, the syncopation and speedy synth melody breakdown, how insanely catchy and humorous the bars are. Like when she dedicates herself to the bit, trust and believe, she dedicates herself to the bit. Not only lyrically, but when she performs on stage as well. But yeah, insanely catchy, absolutely fun, and that is why this track is at my number 4 spot. And I really hope she drops an LP really soon. After that, at number 3, Gordy Greep with Holy. Man, this thing is a 6-minute and I believe 3-second epic with fantastic plethoras of genres, just styles colliding, coalescing beautifully with jazz rock, jazz fusion, such as Latin rock, samba rock, mambo, as Greep hilariously draws this character portrait of this guy who is really pathetic, who pays this woman to not only go on a date with him, but also meet his every request, which become more and more over the top and gut-bustingly hilarious. Just like having her put him on the ultimate pedestal, like saying he's a fantastic dancer, perfect dancer, make him look taller. And it gets even more absurd lyrically. But man, like the syncopation of the rhythms here, of the instrumentation, how each piece correlates with the music perfectly, and the way he delivers here, man, vocally, like he is just a monster and a fantastic actor too. And at number 2, it is Charli XCX and Lorde coming together on a remix from her fantastic, amazing pop album of the year. There I said it, Brat, Charli XCX and Lorde, Girl So Confusing remix. Like, not only is the production so groovy, beautiful, glossy, hard-hitting, intricate, but also introduces the acknowledgement of the Charlie and Lord drama, how a lot of people drew this narrative, this false narrative that they didn't like each other, that there was drama between them, like a beef. And I feel like this needed to happen due to the fact that not only is Charlie speaking on like her insecurities, her not having that much trust in women, how definitely it is difficult being a woman, that these two collide together as showing that Lord herself has the same trust issues and insecurity and views on the complications of being a woman. So it's just beautiful. It's really showing of a great friendship, a great everlasting love of these two. And that whole "I'll ride for you, Charlie" line at the end, just beautiful, just moving. So yeah, coming together, creating a remix of a fantastic cut off of Charlie XC's album, and dissolving the drama, man. Dissolving the drama that the media created, that people in the media created. But this drama, though, the media did not create. This was actually the doing of J. Cole, who saw fit to make this big three and involve Kendrick in the big three of Cole, Drake, and Kendrick. And Kendrick wasn't with that. And you've seen my reviews, you've seen the escalation of this. Cole made a diss, it sucked, he dropped out. And then Drake decided to throw his hat in the ring, ended up being beaten with his hat to a pulp, and having to eat his hat forcefully in that very ring he threw that hat in. I'm talking about Kendrick Lamar, Meet the Grams. Like, this has to be the most devastating and craziest beef I've probably ever seen. Man, like Not Like Us was a victory lap, because this right here was the nail in the coffin. This right here is what deaded Drake for sure, no questions asked. As it comes with 4 verses, and each verse is a letter to each person in the Grams family. The first one being to his son, Adonis, saying how, like, don't grow up like your father takes shortcuts, and a whole bunch of scathing bars towards Drake, and just saying that Kendrick is gonna be there for Adonis like Drake didn't, and teach him stuff Drake didn't. And then writing a letter to his parents saying, you raised a horrible child, an egregious child, a horrible human being, like he's a misogynist and he's a predator, and he's just laying it out there. He's laying it out there for the world to see, for his family to see. And then on the third verse dedicating it to a daughter that Drake is allegedly hiding. But I wouldn't be surprised, because we've seen what happened with Adonis, so this could be true. This wouldn't be the first time Drake let this slip. And then leading into the 4th verse, which is a diss to Drake himself, with a plethora of scathing diss bars, like calling out his misogyny, his abusive ways, and gradually vocally gets more intense. And then we have these backing ghostly vocals that Drake has had an encounter with the ghost of Christmas past here, or his past. Like, this definitely sounds like something that would haunt Drake, and is probably gonna haunt Drake for the rest of his life, and Kendrick knows that. And it really sounds like Drake is having a battle with his conscience, which is so genius, because at the end, Kendrick says this scathing line that, like, fuck a rap battle, this is a lifelong battle with yourself. Oh, he's eating him, he ate him, But yeah, and that, not only best diss track of the year, maybe best diss track of the decade, but my number 1 song of 2024. I got it done. And look, you can disagree with me if you want to, because these are just my favorites. Take them how you want. But hey, I'm a human. I'm just saying what I love. And I love these tracks. I do. Of course, there were other tracks too that were great. The Beach with Jocelyn, great track. Me and Bay love that one. Sabrina Carpenter with Please Please Please. There's also that great track with Bleach Cross. Shout out to Annie Undead. But yeah, man. Yeah. Let me know yours. Let me know yours. And for the love of God, let's... I know times are shitty right now, but let's try to keep positive. Let's call bullshit out when we see it. Let's stay on top of things, but also let's enjoy music. Because there's a lot of music to come. And after this, there is my favorite albums of 2024, my top 50 favorite albums of 2024. Look out for that. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody. I mean, granted, I'm not to where I want to be yet, but I do appreciate the support that I get. And I want it to build. I really want this to be my job. I really do. But yeah, thank you for watching. Caspa, Gothic Ghost, favorite singles of 2024, best singles of 2024, in my opinion. Till we meet again.